We're at the NCAA Wrestling Championships with Brandon Eggum with Minnesota. Obviously today is the day prior to the first day of competition. You guys are all getting settled in and everything. Your thoughts about how the Gophers are wrestling after Big Ten's going into nationals?
You know, our guys, they're wrestling real well, I think. We had a good Big Ten tournament. Overall, I thought our guys have had a good, we've competed very well the last month, so our guys are ready to go. You know, the work's done.
We'll talk a little bit about the national duels. I mean, that was a big event where you guys pulled it together and came out with a victory, but also maybe had a few things that are going to help you at this time of the year.
Yeah, I think just having that success there obviously helps with confidence and stuff. We had a great team effort there by all 10 guys, and that's important, you know, I think, in the dual championship. So that was a great start in February, and we continue to wrestle well. You know, same thing here. I think for us to win a national title, to be in the hunt here, we need all 10 guys to score points. So it's a team effort. So you know, we're doing well on that end. We just try to keep our guys motivated and understanding that each guy needs to go out and do his job, and by doing that, it'll take care of the team.
Now you've got guys that, you know, during the season you have up and downs with injuries, people in and out of the lineup. It looks like Ness is coming around with the season at the end. Talk a little bit about him, because last year he made the finals, and you know, he obviously can be a big part of a team victory here.
Yeah, you know, Dylan has done a great job, and he's really pulled things together. You know, from coming in late in the season, I think he's a guy that has the biggest room for improvement and stuff. And each week he got better and better. Making the NCAA finals last year as a freshman, you could see the guy's a gamer. He can compete very, very well. He's proved it this year now. He looks very, very strong. So he's a guy that needs to come in, and obviously one match at a time, but he's a guy that can score big points. You put him in danger, and before you know it, you know, you're on your back. So he's a hard guy to wrestle. I think he's a difficult guy to try to have a good game plan against because of the way that he wrestles, but he's doing well. So hopefully he has a great tournament for our sake.
Now you got a defending heavyweight champion. Talk a little bit about Tony and how he's even improved from last year. I mean, he's going to have a tough challenge. Obviously, the #1 seed is the kid from Missouri, who's also a very talented wrestler. But there's going to be a lot of good guys in his weight. But what makes Tony such a tough guy at this setting?
You know, I think Tony just mentally very strong guy. He's great at competing. He holds his stress level at in a good spot. I think he stays relaxed and loose, and you know, it's a heavyweight, so there can be a lot of tight matches. But the one thing about Kevin is his defense is extremely good, very difficult to score on. You know, I think he tried to put points on him. He can score on anybody that shoots on him. Then he's very good on top and bottom, so that makes him a very, very tough guy to beat. He needs to go out there. If he scores the first takedown, I think it's going to be very, very hard to beat a guy like him. So he competes well, and I think he's, you know, proved it last year by winning a national title. So I think he's just wrestling well and confident, and you know, one match at a time. But I think he expects to be the guy there in the finals.
Now, we've seen teams not win Big Tens and then win NCAAs. I mean, is that something that's capable with your group based on the depth you have and the quality individuals?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you look at the Big Ten depth just as a conference and stuff. That's an extremely tough tournament. And we have 10 guys that can score points. So there's no reason why if we have a good tournament where we couldn't win the national title. I mean, that's our goal. That's our guys' expectations, is come out here and take care of themselves. But our #1 goal is to win a team title, and we feel confident that we're able to do that.
Let's talk a little bit about freestyle wrestling. You were second in the World Championships, competed overseas quite a few times during your career as a wrestler. You've also been a coach helping other athletes in their international wrestling. The IOC's making a recommendation that maybe we're not an Olympic sport after 2020. Just talk a little bit about your experiences internationally, why you think wrestling belongs in the Olympics, and kind of things you learned as a world-class athlete.
You know, I think as a kid growing up, there's no question, you know, my dream was to wrestle, make an Olympic team and make a world team, and I talked about those dreams as a little kid, and I think a lot of guys, young wrestlers that are watching the Olympics and stuff, it's just it's a you know, great opportunity for them to dream about making it to that level. And so, you know, you learn so much through wrestling. I think the opportunities to go across seas and go to Europe and different countries and experience their culture and stuff was a great learning experience, on top of just the ability to go out and compete. So it's no doubt it's important to kids. It's important to wrestling. We need to be behind it. We need to support the dream to make sure that wrestling continues to stay in the Olympics. So.
Now, you've been overseas. You've been to places maybe where wrestling is even more popular than the United States. Is that accurate? I mean, we need to let the world know that it's not just America that loves wrestling, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, in some of these countries and stuff, wrestling's the biggest, the most important, the most popular sport in their country. So wrestling's something that I think anybody that follows it here at the NCAA tournament could back the statement saying it's a very exciting sport. It has two guys that go out there that are being basically the most basic form of combat here, hand-to-hand, that they go out and they put it on the line, and it's extremely tough to do as an individual to go out and control the stress and everything that comes along with it, with the weight and cutting and those types of things. It takes a very strong individual. It teaches our young athletes great lessons in life as far as winning and losing and dealing with stress and the ups and downs that come with it. So it's a very important sport. I think there's so many great wrestlers that have made great contributions in this world now because of the sport of wrestling, teaching them these types of lessons. So it's important to keep this dream going and to make sure that we continue to keep wrestling in the Olympics.
Outstanding. Appreciate it, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you.